Hey there, ladies and gents. My name is Jason Dames. I'm with Final Start Fitness. I wanted to take a brief moment just to share a couple key principles that I think are going to help you really maximize your time in the gym with your gains in your muscle mass. I'm going to say that assuming that you're here to look to gain muscle, and everybody has their own thing that they like to do, whether it's running, jogging, whatever, and that's okay. But I'm speaking to the person that's really wanting to gain muscle, aid in their weight loss for the best bang for the buck in their time, right? So these 5 points are called the essentials of execution. And executing your lifts are very important, and doing them in a proper way are really going to make a difference as far as whether you have lagging body parts or you just can't get a muscle to grow. A lot of times it's just because your execution may be a little off, and we can just tweak a few of them things. So I'm going to run through the 5 things and then explain a little bit about them. But the first one is eliminate extraneous movement inside the lift, any type of inertia. The second one is keeping tension through the full range of motion, as well as keeping tension through the constant tension through the full range of motion. The third one is just work at the extremes of the range of motion, and I'll explain what that is too. And then at the end is just squeezing it, locking it down, locking your lifts down, keeping everything neutral, and to really work the muscle that you're trying to work and not using a lot of different muscles. So I'm going to explain that, but the first one is eliminating extraneous movement. Now, have you ever been to the gym and you see the guys, and gotta love them, but let's just give it to them that maybe they're in the middle of the set. Some people will start this out, but I'm going to use a bicep curl to explain how this all works in executing your lifts. Now, you can apply this to everything that you're doing, whether it's legs, back, shoulders, arms, whatever, you name it. You can apply all these principles to your execution in every one of them. But we're going to use the bicep curls now. And we see the guys in the gym, and the reps getting really, really hard, and it's struggling. And so they're right here, and they can't get it up, so then they start using their back and they swing it up, or they just kind of toss up and use the gravity that either throw the dumbbell up and then they catch it, or they're just using a lot of different muscles like their back or whatnot. So you can see that if the goal is to make the muscle work harder, that's what we want. Now, if the goal is to move the dumbbell from A to B, then by all means, go ahead and do it that way. But we're wanting to make the muscle work harder. If you can make the muscles recruit more fibers, obviously you're going to make muscle grow, right? That's the ultimate key. So if you take the dumbbell and you start using other parts of your body, what you've done is you've taken the tension off your bicep, and then you've dispersed it through other parts of your body, right? So now there's no more tension, and we're using other muscles to be able to get the weight from here to here. So eliminating extraneous movement would be to really keep a neutral spine position. We don't want anything else to move but this muscle joint right here, which is the elbow. And so if you start at this position, and this is the only thing moving, we know this is the only muscle that's going to be working, right? So the idea is to start from there and don't allow anything else to move. It goes from there to the top. So that's eliminating extraneous movement. The next one is that we keep tension through the full range of motion. Now what this means is that just to add to the guy that's in the gym that you see all the time. Now this may not be you, I'm sure I'm not speaking to you, but you ever seen the guy and he's lifting and he comes up about halfway to about every rep, and you see him doing this thing. They kind of dance a little bit. I've seen a couple guys doing that. Get a little dance going. Maybe they got their tunes going, I don't know. But that's not what we want if we want to recruit the maximum amount of fibers, right? So keeping tension through the full range of motion is that the way your muscle works is that on your bicep, the muscle lengthens and then it contracts. It lengthens like this, and then as you come up, it contracts. So going through the full range or extreme range of motion would be going to this fully lengthened lengthened position all the way to the bottom, all the way to the fully shortened position. So again, you can apply this on every set that you do. So you're keeping constant tension on there through the full extreme range of motion. Now, to add to the constant tension, what you see a lot of people do as well to make it easier is they just drop the weight. So they actually lose the tension on the eccentric phase of the rep, therefore taking tension off the opposite movers, which is the triceps. So when you're coming down on the bicep, you have your prime mover, which is the bicep, you have your antagonist muscle, which is the tricep, and thereby, when you come down, taking the tension off. So if you actually let the weight dictate the speed of the rep by allowing it to come down nice and slow and getting contraction on the tricep on the way down, as well as getting the tension on the bicep on the way up. So extreme range of motion, keeping tension. And one of the last ones is that by keeping tension on the muscles of full range, is sometimes it does get really hard, and I get it, it's really hard when you're at the end of the set and you can't get it up and you just kind of want to take a break here at the bottom. But believe me, if you just push through a couple more reps when it's really burning at the end and don't stop at the bottom, it's going to really tap into them fast twitch muscle fibers. The more and more it gets harder. So the harder it gets on the muscle, your brain sends signals to actually recruit more of them high twitch, fast twitch muscle fibers. So that's really what we want. So I'm just going to kind of recap, re-summarize the 5 things. Eliminate extraneous movement, and when you lock it down, when you nothing else is moving, that's the only thing that's moving. Eliminate extraneous movement, keep tension to the full range of motion, as well as constant tension there. Keep it going. Work through the extreme range of motions. And then Ben Pakulski always says this, and I'm just going to repeat what he says, and maybe later down the road it'll be my quote. But squeeze every rep like it owes you money. So at the end, lock it down, nothing else is moving, and squeeze at the top. You guys will be on your way to actually seeing really good gains. You're going to notice a big difference in your pumps. And so I just wanted to share them principles. Hopefully they help. God bless you guys. Have a great day, and let's make this year your final start. See you later.